Hello and welcome to another episode of Feminine Scope with Tara. I am Amanda Ezekwe, sitting in for Tara. According to the World Health Organization, depression is a mental disorder globally, and the burden of depression is 50% higher in females than in males. In Africa, 5.9% of females suffer from depression compared to 4.9% among males. Studies in Nigeria have also reported that being female is a significant risk factor of depression. People suffering from a mental illness or disorder experience feelings of shame, stigma, and discrimination. Majority of Nigerians lack awareness about mental health and available mental health services. With the lack of mental health services in the country, particularly in rural areas, financial difficulties pose an additional barrier to accessing health services. These barriers have long-lasting consequences, as depressed patients who are untreated are more vulnerable to suicidal thoughts, and finally suicide. We'll be focusing today on the causes, symptoms, and treatment of depression, especially in women. My guest for today is called Aple, an antidepressant talk therapist and an author. Please join us after the break. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Feminine Scope with Tara, and today we are focusing on depression, which is said to affect about 322 million people globally. To discuss this with us is Aple, an antidepressant talk therapist, founder, Panacea Tranquil Foundation, a foundation set up to care for persons going through depression, and she's also the author of Moving On from the Ashes. You're welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so very much.
Depression. We take depression very simple in this part of the country.
Yeah.
What exactly is depression, and how can you describe people going through depression?
Thank you. Depression is a feeling. Some people think maybe it's sadness or disappointment or rejection. It's a combination of all of that, prolonged, gives birth to depression.
Depression, when people go through depression, what could exactly be the cause? Because we know there are so many causes of depression. So what exactly is the cause of depression?
Anything can cause depression. Anything, lack. I tell people that lack is the main cause of depression. Lack of love, lack of money, lack of affection, lack of achievement, lack of success. Anything can cause depression, but it's mainly lack that is the main cause of depression.
In terms of in Nigeria today, what exactly is the main cause of depression in Nigeria? Because we know that most people have different reasons going into depression. But in Nigeria, will we say is the economic reason, since you mentioned lack?
Can we just let sleeping dogs lie?
No, because people need to know.
It's lack. It depends. It's an individual thing as far as I'm concerned. Because while another person will say it's the economic factor of the country that is responsible for their depression, another person will say it's love. I got jilted, or my partner died, or something, I don't have kids, or something. So it varies. You cannot say categorically this is a cause of depression in a country where a lot of us are individualized.
Are there types of depression? Because we can't really say, oh, everybody says, oh, I'm depressed. What are the types of depression?
There are different kinds. You have the clinical type and the type that I'm into. Like I say, depression is demonic, it's spiritual. Because anything that is set out to take your life is beyond medical. It's depression. It's demonic. If it's headache is if you don't take treatment for headache, it prolongs. But once you take treatment for headache, it stops. But depression is beyond that. So many people are, especially those that have the clinical one that comes from maybe childbirth or use of drugs or something, they tend to be on certain medication for a long time to suppress the depression. It doesn't cure it.
Now, the type you are into, could you shed more light on it?
It's spiritual. It's demonic.
Can you tell us the symptoms of depression?
Symptoms of depression, whether clinical or the spiritual ones. First of all, you start losing interest in things. You start feeling rejected. You want to be isolated. You want to be on your own by yourself. Nothing appeals to you anymore. And then for those working, they don't want to go to work anymore. Even while they are there, they start nosediving. Their performance starts nosediving. For those that are foodies, maybe like me, I like fish. And then you say, let's go eat fish. And I'll tell you, no, I don't feel like eating fish. I told a friend that any day you say, let's go eat fish, and I say, no, just know I'm depressed. So when things that appeal to someone stop appealing to them, depression has started setting in. But
sometimes it doesn't really work that way. When things stop appealing to you, would you also say that is a sign of depression? Maybe at a point, I don't want to do something, and you're telling me, okay, you need to do it because I love doing it. Would you say that is depression too? Or at that point, I just don't feel like doing it?
It's not a momentary thing. Depression is not, you don't just feel sad and say you're depressed. No, it's prolonged. Oh, we don't see this person at the basketball court anymore. We don't see this person come play football anymore. We don't see this person come for karaoke anymore. And then you reach out to this person and they say, I beg, I know, I'm no longer interested or something. If you pay close attention to that person, you will see something is going on with that person.
How is depression diagnosed?
It's back to the same thing we are saying. When people start withdrawing, when people start feeling down, and it's mainly people that are close to you that are supposed to be the first set of people to notice that depression has set in. Because if you notice, this person is usually an early riser, wakes up early, 5 o'clock, goes for jogging and all that, and all of a sudden, by 7, they're still sleeping. What is happening? If you pay close attention to these people, you will know something has happened because of their withdrawal, mainly withdrawal symptoms.
But most times, you just feel maybe this person wants to be on their own. They just want their space. Why would you push?
That is why depression is alien to us today. Because before now, we didn't have that day or day. You know how they'll say, let me let this person day or day, let me day my day. You're in an environment, in an estate, and you've not seen your neighbor for months. You've not seen your neighbor for weeks, and you're not bothered at all. Before now, it was not possible because you're cooking and you tell Mama, your daughter, Ngozi, go and meet Mama Nkechi to give me pepper. Go and give me Maggi. If an entire day elapses and Mama Nkechi does not see Mama Ngozi, there's a problem. She will call, Mama Ngozi, will never see you since morning. No, hope you well. You understand? So nobody even allows you to tarry in sadness. Nobody allows you to tarry in anything that is not pleasing to your soul. But today, everybody just, hi. Some don't even say hi to themselves. And this person goes in, is going through whatever it is they're going through, alone. Aloneness makes depression prolonged.
Like you said earlier, community living helps, remove depression and all that. But now that people just stay on their own, like you said, they don't greet, everybody is there. How can you push to know if the person is depressed? Because there's no relationship in the first place.
We as individuals will have to cultivate the care factor. We have to learn how to love, truly love, not because we want something from the other person. If we really, really love ourselves, I will know, you look like you want to cry. You're okay. Have you eaten? Did you make service? Did you go to work? Why didn't you go to work today? I will ask. But when we don't care anymore, maybe because of past experiences like disappointments, maybe you've been in relationships where you cared, quote and unquote, too much, and then you come out of it broken. You feel, let me just mind my business. Mind my business is what make us ignore our partners, ignore our neighbors, ignore our friends. I've been trying to talk to her, she's not talking to me, or he's not talking to me, and that's that. So if we start loving truly, nobody can be depressed with us for a long time, or by us for a long time. We'll find out.
Now,
yes.
Talking about if we start loving truly, how can you push through a depressed person? Because most depressed people, once they get withdrawn, they don't want anybody around them. And if it is those who have that secluded environment, they shut everybody out and even lock the door. You can't access them. So how do you do this?
Love conquers all. I keep saying it. Love conquers all.
But if you don't see the person to love the person.
You pray for them. You pray for them. I've not seen this person in a long time. I don't know if it's just me. Sometimes a name just drops in your spirit and
it happens.
I've not seen this person. Let me chat the person up. Let me call the person. And then you chat the person, hello, and the person doesn't say hi today. Hello, tomorrow, the person doesn't say hi. You find the person's house. You call the person. You get people that are close to that person to check on that person. And I've not seen anybody that sees love and trust that says no to them.
How severe can depression get?
Death. Suicide.
So that's why people say, oh, I have suicidal thoughts.
Yes.
I keep hearing things.
Yes.
Someone once told me that when she got depressed, she started having selective hearing. How does that work?
Be mindful of what we hear and what we watch and what we, in your dark times, just keep putting things. Read books, good books, watch good movies, listen to good music. Because when drought comes, when you're in abundance, just keep putting these things in. Be mindful of the things you watch and the things you listen, so that when drought comes, these are the things that will feed you. It happened in the Bible. Joseph, when it was time for plenty, he amassed so much, he saved so much. And when it was time for lack, people came to them to buy things. Why? Because of the amount of things he saved in time of plenty. So most people don't save enough in time of plenty. So when drought comes, it kills them, because they don't have anything in their bank to fall back on or to start playing. You see that word inside your head, those words, they come from an abundance of your heart. So if you don't have an abundance in your heart, if the abundance in you is rubbish, when in time of drought, it's rubbish that will keep coming. But if you have a lot on your inside that is positive, when drought comes, it's those positive things. I am strong. I am healed. I cannot die.
Like words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Oh, I love this person. I cannot leave this person. I'm beautiful. I'm that. But if you keep watching bad things, or you're on social media just filling yourself up with jealousy and envy and thinking less of yourself, oh, I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not rich enough. Like, see what happened the other time. Somebody just said, with Davido, just said, oh, you guys show me love. And boom, it just kept coming. That day, the number of calls I got, you don't want to know. A lot of people went into depression. They were sad. They were broken. Like, see, that me, if I need 100,000 naira now, 100 people, I don't even have 100 people on my contact list to give it to me. So they just keep going, oh, my network. Is it really worth it? I think I'm going to remove people.
So you will say that social media is a major factor? It's
not a major factor. It's just one of it. And it depends on what you go to do there. Like for somebody like me, sometimes when I'm down, I go to social media to get lifted. It depends. The eye sees what it wants to see. If you want to keep listening to, like I said, trash, that is what you keep listening to. Some same people that say social media is bad, some other class of people, that is what puts food on their table. So it depends on what you're listening to and what you're watching. The selective hearing. Like if I'm going to have selective hearing, it's I'm strong, I'm beautiful, I'm going to make it. That is the hearing I will be hearing because of what I put on my inside, the deposit on my inside. So, yeah.
The World Health Organization said that 50% of people depressed are females. 5.95% of females suffer from depression compared to 4.9%, which are males. Why would they say that this is more prevalent in women?
Women like talking. That's how we burn off. We talk. And if a woman is married or is into a relationship, they want to talk to their partner. And men are hustlers. They are go-getters. We don't even have
women are born to talk.
Yes. We need companionship. We need companionship. So if you don't have a companion that you can trust, that you want to confide in, like a confidant, if your partner is not your confidant, the likelihood that you will go into depression is very high. Because most times, once we find love, every other person becomes secondary. Now, if this love you have found is not companionship enough for you, you don't have anybody to talk to. So a lot of things, a lot of self-talk will be going on, and depression sets in.
Let's divert a bit, since we're talking about women and depression.
Yes. Can
you shed more light a bit on postpartum depression, since this is what women go through a lot?
You know, before I'm just lucky I'm able to go back to me. You know, before I got pregnant, I got married, I was this slim, you know. Then you get married, you get pregnant, and your tummy starts bloating. Everywhere starts, some people have stretch marks all over, nose swelling up. And they will tell you, oh, don't worry, when you give birth, it will go down. And then you give birth, and you go into a spree of eating. Everything you see, you just want to eat. And then you just keep eating, and a size 8 ends up being a size 16. That alone can cause depression.
We'll go on a short break. When we come back, we're still talking depression. Stay tuned. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is Feminine Scope with Tara, and we've been talking depression. We still have Aple, an antidepressant talk therapist, with us in the studio. Aple, before we went on the break, we're talking about depression, and let's divert a bit. Since we're talking about women and depression, can you shed more light on postpartum depression? Because most people don't even understand it, especially the men, that after childbirth, a woman goes through this phase.
Okay, postpartum is pregnancy, giving birth. The woman, what the woman becomes after giving birth. It varies, so many things. Some people are body freaks. Their body changing can cause them to go into depression. Some people, like those that did CS, all those things that were injected into them can cause depression. Baby not sucking or the mother not lactating can cause depression. The husband's attitude, for those that have husbands, attitude towards both the baby and the mother can cause depression. Mother-in-law, siblings, you're smiling, family, you don't want to go there, can cause depression. Lack of funds. Like if the woman is not eating what she's not eating right. If you're not eating right, you won't lactate well. And if you're not lactating, there's nothing that messes a woman up, like watch your baby cry and you can't help that baby. And then maybe you go for not antenatal. After you've given birth, you go for that postnatal thing. And you see some women even using breast pad because they are overflowing. And then you're drinking so much to just lactate. A lot of things can cause postpartum, a lot. And then I feel that if we have the right people around us during any of all these episodes, people won't tarry in depression. That's just the simple truth.
So that's how they can be helped, when they have the right people.
Have the right people. Love.
Around them.
Love, 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 love. If you have people who love you, like when I gave birth, I had both my mom and my mother-in-law around. They're bringing pounded yam, white soup, this one. So it was very hard for me to go into depression because of family. Family was not the reason for going into depression. It was, how will I, because I did CS, so I had to heal fast, and you can't rush these things because I had a home-based school that I'm running. So my inability to multitask affected me too. So it could be anything, really, it could be anything.
How can we determine that depression is an illness? Because people don't see it like that.
I don't see it. I just see it as a lack of something. Because if you check most people that are going through depression, some of them went ahead to start taking medication, and they're depressants, antidepressants. They just numb you, but once it wears out, the feelings comes in. But once you're able to, especially when they go for therapy or counseling, and you're able to find out why they are feeling the way they are feeling, and you treat it, that depression goes. So I don't know if I can categorically come out and say it's a sickness, or I feel it's a state of the mind that comes from lack. Because once that need is met, depression leaves. If it's a woman that lost her husband, over time, once she finds peace with that loss, depression goes. If it's somebody that lost their job, once they get another job, depression goes. If it is somebody that doesn't have money, like what is going on now, once money comes, so if it is sickness, if somebody has cancer and you give them money, it doesn't treat the cancer. Do you understand? That is what I call sickness. But anything that's something other than medicine can cure, I don't know if I can call it sickness.
How can depression be prevented? As in not even allowing it to take place in the first place.
Your doors and your windows. Be mindful of your gates. Be mindful of your gates. What you see, what you hear, what you perceive in your heart, what you think. If you fill yourself with the right thoughts, you fill yourself with positive energy, it's going to be very hard. You keep the right friends, you're in the right environment. It's going to be very hard for depression to set in. Even if you feel sad sometimes, it won't tarry. It won't tarry. Somebody said it's selfishness that makes people tarry in depression. And if you check it, most people have entitlement mentality.
Yeah, in our society today, they do.
A lot of people have entitlement mentality. And they bought car for this one, they did not buy for me. And then it breeds sadness, and sadness goes into something else. Because you want attention, you now want to do something to yourself, so everybody's on you, so... But I just believe that if we have we're in the right environment with the right people, hearing the right things, watching the right pictures and all, it's going to be hard. And if you have a purpose for your life, because I feel that if people don't have a reason why they do what they do, you don't have a reason for living. So it's going to be very easy to be, to drift into depression because you don't even have any reason why you're living. But if I have a reason for living, in the morning I want to wake up, maybe my reason is to make sure that my neighbors
are happy.
So what do? I keep watching happy movies, keep listening to happy things, so that when I'm with my neighbor, I ensure they are happy. If my duty is to ensure that my community eats well, all I'm thinking about, we ate beans yesterday, what am I going to cook for them? So even if I'm feeling sad that I don't have money, it will not tarry, because before 2-3 minutes, a child is knocking on your door to say, mommy, I'm hungry, or auntie, I'm hungry, or uncle, I'm hungry.
Children don't relent.
No, they don't. So where will the depression won't even have room to stay. When we have purpose, we live our life of purpose, and we have the right people around us, hearing the right things, seeing the right things, and close to God.
Do you think we have enough health people who, like health personnel, who people can talk to when they are depressed, like psychologists?
When I launched my foundation earlier this year, that was what we wanted to work towards. Get like a helpline where people can call when they're in time, where they're going through stuff. Once it gets to, you don't even need to wait till it gets to the time where you're eyeing one thing that will take your life. You don't have to. There should be numbers, just like how you have rescue, fire numbers, we have police helplines. There should be helpline. This is what the government should also step into, to make sure that we have helplines that people can reach. I don't know if we have it. If we do, I don't know if we have enough publicity for it for other people to know, you know. If we have it, I think it will help a lot of people
to come out of it.
And then those that even know charge so much. You call a therapist, so they can't even afford them. They can't even afford them at all. So you just check it. I don't even have money, so if I call this person out, they'll charge me, you know. And those charging are charging for a reason. I can remember when I didn't used to charge at all. I was always on my phone. My phone was always buzzing round the clock. And then sometimes people are calling you for reasons. Maybe they're bored. They are bored, though.
People actually call you when they are bored.
Yes, they are bored. They'll just call you to gist. And they will be crying, and it's just boredom. Or they are broke, and they'll be calling you. So I put a fee. If you want counseling, you pay this fee. And the demand dropping, you know. But when I know a case that needs urgent attention, I know. And if you don't have the funds for it, I know I render free services. I call maybe pro bono or anything. I render such services.
Just to help them.
Just to help people. Because I feel if we're all happy, Nigeria will be better.
The world will be
a better place. See a lot of people beefing Davido because his account just kept going pow, 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 pow.
He has paid his dues.
He has paid his dues. His social capital is high. What is your own social capital? And then, like I said, that same day I made a post. And like, for the fact that you don't have people throw in millions into your account, you might be lucky enough to have somebody to talk to when you need somebody to talk to. Some people have money, but they don't have anybody to talk to when they need someone to talk to. So check, what is life for you? What is life to you? If it's money, then go and make money. If it's not money, then thank God for the love that you have. If you don't have money, you don't have love, but you have good health. I think if we just have, yes, if you have, you are alive. So if we have the right attitude and an attitude of gratitude, I think it will also help us as individuals.
Okay, so what are your last words on depression? And talk to the people on how they can prevent it and who they can talk to.
If you're feeling sad, get somebody to talk to. That's just all I will say. Get somebody to talk to. If you don't have a friend to talk to, go online and call me. If you feel sad, call me, talk to me, or tell God something, yeah.
We sincerely appreciate you for taking time out to be with us. Our guest has been Aple, an anti-depression talk therapist, founder Panacea Tranquil Foundation, a foundation set up to take care of people or persons going through depression, and the author of Moving On from the Ashes. Finally, mental health services should become an integral part and functional part of primary health care. There is also a need for more mental health practitioners in the country in order to meet the needs of the ever-growing number of people who will need to be treated. It is important that health workers actively seek to diagnose depression among patients and provide the appropriate health services to ensure they get optimum treatment. This implies that general practitioners and other healthcare workers need to be properly and regularly sensitized about depression and other mental health disorders. That's the much we can take on the program. Until next week, bye-bye.